Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've done a face-to-face video, but so much has happened these past 6 months, these past 2 months especially, that I had to sit down and let you guys know what's been happening. If you follow me on Twitter, you already know what this video is about, but for those of you who don't, I wanted to make this for you. So to start things from the beginning, about 2 years ago, I had my first surgery called fundoplication with hiatal hernia repair. Basically, what that means is I have severe acid reflux. They wrap around my stomach and esophagus to make it tighter, so the acid goes down instead of coming up and me throwing it up, basically. To give you an idea of what was happening, basically, anytime I would go to the store, the grocery store, or anything like that, I would throw up right before. I was obviously going to a lot of Ubisoft events at the time, so I would throw up before getting on the plane sometimes, and at the hotel before the event. And I was throwing up pure acid, not actual food, just this burning sensation in my throat, and it was awful. I couldn't live like that. So I decided to, start going to the doctor, see what's going on. I thought, maybe it's anxiety. It makes sense. I'm getting nervous before like driving or going to these events. Maybe it's anxiety. And that's what the first doctor basically told me. They're like, yeah, just take some medicine. That's it. And that didn't help. There was obviously an issue happening, and they just wanted to give me medicine, not do any test. But thankfully, I found the right doctors who knew something was wrong, and they wanted to do something about it. So I did multiple tests. I was diagnosed with Barrett's esophagus, which basically means I have precancerous cells in my body due to the severe acid reflux. Usually people like over 60 get this. But since I've been living with acid reflux for so many years and constantly throwing up almost every day, sometimes every day, or even twice a day, it was really damaging my esophagus. And thankfully, they found that. And after they discovered that, they obviously wanted to do surgery to prevent the acid reflux from coming up this way. And that's what I did. It was tough. It's my first surgery. I've never done it before. No surgery is pleasant. So there's that. It was expensive, like about $1,000. And I was on this very strict liquid diet for like 2 weeks and then soft foods for another week. And I lost about 20 pounds. It was depressing. It honestly was. But thankfully the surgery worked. I didn't feel any acid in my throat. I wasn't throwing up every day. I felt normal for the first time in years. And it was the greatest feeling ever. So fast forward a few months later, and I started to notice a few things were becoming undone. For example, once you had the surgery, you can't burp anymore. Like, it's just physically impossible. But I started to burp. You're not supposed to throw up anymore. And I was throwing up, and I was throwing up acid. And when I started feeling these things again, I didn't want to go back to the doctor, mainly because I was moving. But that was just an excuse, realistically. I think more than anything, I was just scared because I didn't want to accept the fact that the surgery didn't work. And I was just putting it off. I moved across the country. That they're not related. I was just moving across the country, so that's why it wasn't like the biggest thing on my mind. Fast forward even more, I started throwing up more and more, almost every day again. And then it got worse than before. I was throwing up multiple times a day, pure acid. I was burping. In the car, I was a mess. I don't know. It was worse than before. And I decided, you know what? Like, I need to do something about this. I can't live like this again. It's so bad. Earlier this month, I was visiting my family just for a few days for the holidays, basically. And I told them, like, I wasn't feeling well. I think we need to call my surgeon because the surgeries probably became undone, which happens 5% of the time. And they could see that I wasn't feeling well. I was still, like, throwing up. They knew. So they called my surgeon. He was booked for the next 2 months. But thankfully, he remembered me because I was his youngest patient, and he got me in within a few days. And I just told him what was going on, And thankfully he suggested to do more tests, see what was going on. He didn't want to jump to surgery right away. He wanted to pinpoint what exactly was happening. So I did the test. Here's where things just get so messed up. One doctor told me I don't have a hiatal hernia and I don't have Barrett's esophagus, which I knew wasn't true because I did a test a few days earlier, an x-ray, where they showed I had a new hiatal hernia. And I mean, Barrett's esophagus, I've been diagnosed with for a few years. But she's like, oh no, you're young. You're way too young. There's no way. And that was it. She went down my throat. She's like, you don't have anything. And thankfully, I did multiple tests because she was wrong. I still have Barrett's esophagus. I have a new hiatal hernia, which is causing some of the acid. And the surgery, some of it became undone, which is the mostly causing the acid with the hiatal hernia together. So yeah, it was when she told us the news that I didn't have any of that, I was excited because I kind of believed her somewhat. I mean, like, obviously I had the test from a few days earlier, but I was like, well, maybe she's right. Hopefully, like, it's nothing and medicine can just fix it. But yeah, she just didn't know what she was talking about, which sucks. That's the medical industry. Some doctors just want to prescribe you medicine. They don't actually care about you or how you're feeling. They just want to make money, and it's sad. So thankfully, my surgeon wanted me to do multiple tests. I still had Barrett's esophagus, the hiatal hernia, and he saw that the surgery was undone, and he wants to do another one. That was pretty devastating to hear because I hate surgery. Again, no one likes doing surgery. It's not fun. It's expensive. It's just depressing. But it needs to be done, and we scheduled it sometime in March. Hopefully this one works. Again, in 5% of cases, it becomes undone, and I was just unlucky. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm just thankful that he can do the surgery again in a few months, and hopefully this time it works. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that that's what's going on with my life. It sucks. I still have acid reflux. Thankfully, some medicine is working, but it's not 100% gone. But just know that videos in March are just going to be down because I'm going to be recovering. Hopefully, sometime in April, I can start making videos again. It's about a 1 month recovery time to be fully healed and ready to talk and just not put stress on my body. But yeah, hopefully you guys understand. It's been tough, but I'm so thankful for all your support. It really means so much to me. And yeah, just thanks again for watching my videos. It means so much. And yeah, just stay tuned. I'm going to have videos out this month still, January and February, of course. So stay tuned for that. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.